welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is a studio musician on Coconut Pete's Pina Colada Berg. It's Chris Kelly.
Hey, everybody.
So how was that recording with Coconut Pete doing Pina Colada Berg?
Well, he wasn't really too stoked about Jimmy Buffett ripping him off. Of course, this was several years later.
Yeah, this would happen later, but he knew about it.
He did know about it. Yeah, it was.
He sensed it.
He could feel it. He could feel it in his coconuts. Jimmy Buffett, who was a major player hater to Coconut Pete, knew he was going to steal his music. So it took him he was a smart man, very underrated, very beyond his time. He was like Billy Idol in 1986.
He basically laid the pavement. And then
he put the gravel, and then Jimmy Buffett was the pavement.
Exactly. And then he put the lines down just as an added insult to Coconut Pete. So you play guitar on that. Did he work like Brian Wilson did on Pet Sounds, or what was Coconut Pete like in the studio?
He was very he puts off a persona that he doesn't really care, and he's more relaxed, but he's actually very much in depth. Sort of like Miles Davis on the piano. Like, he doesn't seem like he cares, but he's totally telling him what to do, what everyone else wants to do.
So it seems like improv, but there's a way to, like, you know how you seem like jazz, like good jazz can seem like improv, but they've done it before and they get into a good flow.
It's like Kids in the Hall. You think it's improv, but it's actually...
Got it.
It's already been pre-mapped out, rehearsed several times, shot once.
So is it like Spinal Tap where they have a basic guideline for it and they fill that in, but they know what the story is? Is that what Coconut Pete does?
A little yes and no. Sometimes he'll bring in something else, and then he'll talk. He'll want to add a little bit more drum, a little bit more guitar. But as far as Pina Colada Berg went, it was a lot of us just having a good time, and I'm very happy to be part of history.
Now, you sang some vocals on "The Crab Stole My Corona." What was that like?
Oh, it was originally "The Corona Stole My Crab."
Really?
It was based off of a time when we were at the beach. And we were so drunk, we actually thought that the Corona was taking this crab.
Hey, bring back the crab,
I went to go tackle the crab, and I actually hit the Corona instead. Boom. Crab took my Corona.
Oh, wow. That's a good story.
See? Coconut Pete and I, we went back way.
I appreciate that you guys cared enough about the crab to prevent its abduction.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're both strict vegetarians. I mean, we love animals, so... we're going to protect the crab over the Corona. Not only that, but I can't get drunk off crab.
Yeah, you're right. And also, Coconut Pete, he was a vegetarian, so he named his name Coconut Pete to support...
Yeah, well, as opposed to I Kill Polar Bears Bill.
Yeah, exactly.
That was his original name.
Or Beef Pete.
He met me when I was hanging out with Paul McCartney in 1972. Then I turned him into a vegetarian while we were hanging out with him and Linda.
Oh, so his original name was Crab Meat Pete.
Yeah. Oh.
And then it changed to Coconut Pete.
Well, he was I Kill Polar Bear Bill, and then Crab Meat Pete. Yeah. And then he met me, and then he turned into Coconut Pete.
I mean, there are stages to being a vegetarian. You kind of cut back to... Some people just eat fish. They don't eat beef. So he went from eating polar bears, which is a horrible thing to do. Horrible. To eating just fish and crab.
I don't know. Shellfish. Polar bears are a lot bigger than the average ones. I mean, you guys.
Yeah, but he went for the endangered ones.
He went for the brown polar bears.
Yeah,
there's only such a finite amount of those hanging out.
He's like, where are they? I'm going to shoot them. No, you can have these. There's overpopulation here. No, I only shoot the endangered ones.
So we went to Lagos to try to get the brown polar bear, and couldn't find it.
Is he the reason they were on the island and lost?
No, actually, that was another guy.
That was another guy. So we can say now that
was Jimmy Buffett. That's the reason.
Oh, that's why. That's why there's no one on the island, because the polar bears got loose and ate all the people.
They all left after he wrote his third autobiography. They did.
Have you ever blown out a flip flop?
I did actually. Yeah, I did. I remember it was whenever I had the Old Navy ones. Yeah. Remember Old Navy was like 2 for $3,
30-cent. Yeah, flip flops.
I remember it got caught not on a pop top, but I was on a rock. I don't know why. I remember I was
on a rock top.
It was on a shock top.
Yeah, that wheat beer. You blew them out on an orange that you were putting in the shock top.
Blue Moon was not happy.
A lot of people are going to be wondering why we're talking about Coconut Pete, and the idea behind this podcast is we originally You originally pitched an idea to me about 2 years ago about movies with weird titles that are actually good, and then we transformed it into an idea called It's Not That Bad. So basically what this podcast is going to be about is movies that just aren't that bad. So,
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Now you sound like me. I'm like Coconut Pete.
So when you're out and you're talking about movies, you're like, hey, this movie's, it's not that bad. So we looked at movies. We have 3 each. We looked at movies that have rotten scores on Rotten Tomatoes. So the critic and audience scores are rotten. It has to have under a certain score on IMDb, and the
6.5.
Yeah, and then on Metacritic, it has to have below a 60 as well. So basically, these are movies that are below average on IMDb, are rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, and they're below what they should be on Metacritic. So these are movies that could be in the 50s, could be in the 20s, but they are generally looked at as rotten or below average.
They're seen as bad movies, and if you talk to people about films, they all agree that they are terrible films. But in my opinion, they're really not bad.
They're not that bad. This is not that bad.
I heard the cell phone conversation we had, and you were just like, you kept saying that. I'm like, damn it, man.
It's just not that bad. So, I mean, if someone walked up to me and said, that movie's bad, I'll be like, I'm with you. I get it. But I like them.
Yeah, these movies are not going to be nominated for Oscars, although some of them are made by Oscar winners.
Yeah.
But there's just way too much hate on the internet and from critics for these movies, and it's like, I mean, it's not that bad.
All right, so let's jump into it. What's your first movie?
Sure. Mine is a film that a lot of people know. A lot of people talked about and they don't like at all. It has an IMDb rating of 4.7, 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 30% with the audience. 29 meta score.
29?
I'm talking about Mark's favorite movie, The Forest. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, oh, good. That movie's bad. That movie's that bad.
No, that movie is that bad.
That movie is that bad.
I tried to watch that. I couldn't do it.
It's that bad.
Yeah, I remember you calling it The Forest.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a good line. The Forest, more like the Boris.
No, I'm talking about, although I would love to talk about The Forest for as 4 minutes that I saw that movie. I'm talking about Aliens vs. Predator Requiem.
The R-rated.
The R-rated version. No, they never made a PG-13.
No,
that's right.
They made a director's cut and an R-rated version.
Yeah, that's right. It's directed by the Strauss brothers, Colin and Greg. If you don't know history behind them, they're very visual effects heavy group of guys. They did The Day After Tomorrow, Constantine, 300, Jumper, Avatar, 2012, the Avengers movies, and Rampage.
Yeah, they're big. They're visual effects supervisors, correct?
Oh yeah, yes, they are. And they know what they're doing as far as visual effects movies go. Now, of course, Alien started out without visual effects, clearly because they didn't have it at the time. But they had to go with the times. Of course, Alien Resurrection was terrible. Aliens versus Predator was. I don't know how else to describe that movie, but
it's like the most mediocre movie you could imagine. It's made. The shots make sense, the plot makes sense, but it's not. It's just bland.
It's crap. I mean, well, the Aliens versus Predator was complete garbage. I mean, what Predator starts liking the girl because she has dreadlocks, and is like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah. So basically, the plot of Alien versus Predator, right, is the Predators had a pyramid that they would unleash aliens in, and then they would go to the pyramid and they would hunt the aliens for practice. But then the aliens got too powerful. There's too many, so then they nuked it, right?
Yes, and somehow they wound up in outer space because then they attacked the ship in the first Alien movie, or I guess it goes back even further than that because wasn't there a Prometheus? So it has to go even further than that. So somehow that all made sense in their world. I didn't like it at all, but
it ended with a pred alien.
Yes, and I really enjoyed that character that they created. And that's what the Alien vs. Predator Requiem dominantly showcases, and it's really, really, really well done.
The visual effects and the practical effects of the aliens I liked a lot.
Oh, yes.
As well.
Yeah,
so the Strauss brothers, I mean, the characters are they're flatter than flatbread.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was like they were trying to. I mean, it's 2007 when it came out. What was happening in 2007 at the time? You got to look at the different horror films. So they were trying to do kind of like a late teens, early 20s, kind of like a slasher movie. Because they said that they wanted to make it more like a horror film with like a sci-fi touch. So they did that. It did. I mean, they had the movie just kind of worked well like that to me. I mean, it didn't. I mean, the first one didn't work. The second one worked because I mean, it's great. And the things that I liked that they learned from their mistakes with the first Alien vs. Predator. In the first AVP, she says, "You're one ugly MF," and then in Requiem, they did this smarter thing, which was they said lines to show homage to the
Get to the
aliens.
chopper.
They say "Get to the chopper," and the first line of dialogue is "anytime." Right? He's like, because the kid is about to shoot the deer, and he's like, the father leans in and goes, "All right, son, anytime." Yep. Which, as we all know from Predator, it's shot really well. It was shot in Canada. It's supposed to be Colorado. Very easy to use either one of them. And it takes place in a forest area, and it makes more sense because, I mean, that makes more sense to have them duking it out there. The aliens looked great. It's visual effects heavy for that. And you have the aliens that look at the Pred alien is dynamite as well.
Kids get killed.
Kids get smoked.
A woman gets
oh my gosh.
infected with Pred bursters or something.
What would you call this? But
there's a word for them. It's on the Alien Wiki. I wrote it down actually. We'll look at it later. But yeah,
I'm sorry. That scene I liked that a lot was like because you didn't know what was going on because like everyone was evacuating the town and then the Pred alien just walks into the hospital, smokes the nurse because you're like, whoa, just killed her, and then just walks into the rooms with all the pregnant women and just starts shoving whatever you say, like they're the little
Pred bursters or something,
just shoving them into them and into the pregnant women's mouths, and it's like, holy crap, like. It's pretty brutal. I wanted to say another thing that would, kind of boost this movie up to being like, it's not all that terrible, was that the cinematographer was Daniel Pearl. If you don't know who that is, he's the guy that started out by doing the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He also did one of my favorite lesser known films, Full Moon High. And then in the 80s, he just did all of the great 80s music videos that you can think of. He did a lot of music videos for The Police. He did Billy Idol's music videos, John Mellencamp's Sticks. And then he also shot famously November Rain by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. That's an epic video.
Oh gosh, is it ever. So that's the guy who did this movie.
You know what I like? Am I interrupting your chain of thought here?
No, I was going to talk more about the movie, about how it's not all that terrible.
Well, I like when the Pred alien and its little henchmen are running around town just running amok. Like, they're like a gang.
Yeah.
They're a gang.
Yeah.
Then when they attack the Marines and they wipe the Marines out, and like they're just sweeping they're going full Raptor, basically, from Jurassic Park 2.
And it's fun to watch it. It's just like, oh yeah. And then they go into like the steel mill, and then you see the Predator, like the humans think that they need to take down the Predator. The Predator's not worried about the humans. Yeah. He's trying to smoke out the aliens.
He's trying to keep the humans there so the aliens come.
And and it's just an all around not that bad of a movie.
I just like that there's a crew of aliens running around, just running amok. Like they're a gang. It's a gang of aliens, and I like that Wolf is the name of the Predator. He comes to Earth. He's getting rid of all traces of stuff, so no one knows where they're from. Like, he destroys the ship. He puts the stuff on the bodies. But then a guy discovers them, right? So Wolf is trying to stop all these aliens. But he still has time to skin a human being and, like, hang him upside down. Yeah. It's like, Wolf, don't you have more important things to do than skin a human being for, like... That, I was like,
he's like, you know what? Ever since they called you Octopus, you got way too big for your, blowing up device. You know?
Yeah. So he just he's skinning human beings. He's headshotting people. He's blowing heads off with his laser.
Yeah.
But his laser only works when he headshots humans. Like, he misses a decent amount.
Hey, one of the scenes I really like, I showed this movie to my girlfriend. She said exactly how we said it. It wasn't that bad. The scene where the two like stoner kids run out with like guns and they're like, "Oh man, we're gonna do," and then blows their heads like right off. And like, holy smoke!
I mean, the best shot of the movie though is when Wolf has the two xenomorphs. He has each of them by the throats, and he's just looking at both of them in the tunnel during the tunnel fight. That's a cool.
Yeah,
it's a good scene. Like, So I watched it again. I remember I saw it in the theaters. I'm like, what just happened to me? But watching it again, I actually own AVP full screen. I have a double pack, and I got it for $5. I don't know why I have AVP full screen, but it has AVPR. But I don't know. I had fun with it. I think I had more fun than I did with AVP.
It's more of a. I mean, yeah, the people who made the movie generally do more fun or like visual effects types of films. Like it was written by the guy who did the remake of Shaft and Savages. So I mean, it was definitely, it had a lot of people behind it that were more into having fun with their movies, not so much trying to do like we're going to do a Predator movie or we're going to do an Alien movie, so we got to have this, and this. It was not a cookie cutter thing. It was basic. I mean, you know, also you could interchange the different characters. I mean,
I don't know any of their names.
Well, I don't. I wrote down who it's starring. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Stephen Pasquale is probably the only person who's notable because he...
From Rescue Me?
Yeah. And he grew up in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which was only like 40 minutes away from where I'm from in Pennsylvania. And the only thing I knew him from was he played Mark Furman in the American Crime Story TV show. Hey. Watch that. I was like, whoa, wait. But he plays like the older brother who's kind of like cool, but like, you know, whatever.
And it also features
John Ortiz.
Yeah, John Ortiz is good. Wolf fist fighting a pred alien. They're punching. There's a scene in this movie where they're punching each other in the face.
Yeah, they're duking it out really heavily.
They're fist fighting. There's a scene. They throw 4 total punches and they just hit each other in the face. I'm like, what? What is happening?
Then he takes off his mask, and it's like,
that's a terrible idea. I'm going to drop my shield. No. As soon as that guy drops his shield, I'm throwing a spear out. Now, John Ortiz is good, though. He's been in a ton of movies.
Oh, yeah. Carlito's Way. He was in the Miami Vice remake. He was an American Gangster. He's in the movie that's in theaters right now, Bumblebee. I mean, he's still killing it. He's the guy that, like, when you see him, you know exactly who he is. He's like, oh, yeah, that guy.
He's like the guy from The Guest that we talked about, Leland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both authority figures.
Yeah.
So, there you go. I mean, it gets a lot of hate on the internet. You know, some of the user comments I've read, people said this movie is completely garbage. Stop making movies anymore. And Strauss Brothers, shame on you, just plain awful. So I don't agree with that. But when looking this movie up, you see an overwhelming amounts of reviews that say that.
I think I think it's better now that we have expectations out of the way. And if you just watch it to have fun, you can do that.
It's a great movie to just, you know, to watch when you're having a couple of beers, or, you know, if you're just hanging out around your house, or if you want to have something in the background while you're cleaning, you don't have to pay attention to it.
Just have Wolf beating up aliens. One alien decides to go, or one predator go. I take 3 predators. I'd be like, hey, Hank, Steven, and Bear, come with me.
Hank, Steven, and Bear.
And Crab Meat Pete.
Put down that damn guitar.
Join me. Let's go fight some xenomorphs.
Stop singing with Chris.
We gotta get him before they get to the pyramid.
Apparently, I mean, like, people around the world liked it as well, obviously, because it made $120 million off of a $40 million budget.
That's not bad.
That's not terrible at all. I mean, there's definitely enough room to make a Alien vs. Predator 3. I don't see what would be a need for it, but they could do it.
Let's say they spent, $30 million on marketing, maybe 20 million. I mean, either way, that gets up to 60 to 70 million. So you still made $40 million on it, $50 million. So you made a profit on it. So my movie, you're going to be surprised, is Club Dread. This is the Broken Lizard's 3rd movie. It was Puddle Cruiser, Super Troopers, and then Club Dread. I read Jay Chandrasekhar's book, and he actually went to director's jail because of this movie. The studio wanted to take it away from them. They weren't happy with it. The Rotten Tomato critic score is 29, audience score is 43, which blows my mind. IMDb is 5.7, and Metacritic is 45. So this movie, Club Dread, it was following up Super Troopers, which that's a hard movie to follow up because they planned that. So you know what my theory, so you watch Downton Abbey season 1. This is really weird. 6 episodes, and they probably planned for that show for years. And then they're like, okay, a year from now we need 12 episodes. And you're like, wait, what? So you have to, it's not going to be as good. So these guys planned Super Troopers for years, finally got it made, and then they're like, okay, a year later, we want you to make something else. So they churned out Club Dread. But I like this movie a lot. I think when I saw it in the theaters, I laughed really hard. I had the poster. I thought it was funny. I mean, I don't think it deserves the 29% or the 43 audience score. Like,
I don't think it does either. I mean, you know what you're getting into when you see the front cover of it, without even like knowing anything about the Broken Lizards guys. It's safe to assume this is going to take place in a vacation spot. Death.
It's a good idea,
I love the idea. It's a perfect mix of horror and comedy. I mean, it has great lines in it. I mean, the great lines of dialogue, especially in the beginning. Remember, he's like, "Yo, baby, why don't you lick my chest while I roll up this J?"
It's so obvious. Like, they're just like, it knows exactly what it is. Like, it just sends two women out with a guy to be killed. Yeah, right. Like, it's just, and like, there's a line in this movie where they're telling this horror story, and there's a guy named Phil Coletti who used to kill people with a machete. And then he got nicknamed, so you think it's going to be Machete Coletti, but then they're like, his nickname was Machete Phil. Like, that's a good bit. Like, Phil Coletti uses a machete, but his nickname's Machete Phil. Like, that's a good bit. And then there's another line where, Jay Chandrasekhar's character is like, I'm bringing a machete. Like, just the weird lines. And there's a line where this woman, you and Hank get killed. And so Juan runs up to Coconut Pete and he goes, "You and Hank are dead." And then Coconut Pete goes, "What did we do?" And Juan's like, "No, you and Hank are dead." And Coconut Pete goes, "Is that a threat?" Like, it's so easy.
The girl's name's Penelope.
Yeah, Penelope.
And then another great line, which I use all the time, is whenever what's his name? The big guy.
Oh, Kevin Heffernan.
He like makes himself thin so he can slide underneath the bed. And she goes, "Why can't you do that all the time?" He goes, "Was that a fat joke?" No one ever suspects the fun police. It's bullshit. Yeah. I've always suspected the fun police.
And then Coconut Pete goes, "You think Eddie Money has to put up with this shit?" And then one of my favorite lines is Coconut Pete is talking to Sam, the fun police, and Coconut Pete wants to bring in a pro to stop the killer on the island. And Coconut Pete's like, "I thought it was time to bring in the pro." And Sam goes, "Hank?" "Yes, Hank, the head of security on all my tours." And then they're like, "So what? He keeps aging hippies from stealing the bong out of your tour bus?" And Coconut Pete goes, "It just so happens Hank used to be a federal agent." "Yeah, that's right. Head of an FBI task force on serial killers. Single-handedly caught the Minneapolis Mangler." And then this guy goes, "Who's the Minneapolis Mangler?" "Exactly." But then I like, and then this bartender Dave goes, "Pete, you're aware that I personally served this guy 20 beers a day for the last 10 years, right?" Like, it's just, that's a good, like, "Who's the Minneapolis Mangler?" "Exactly." Like,
yeah, right.
Like,
he says there's always got to be someone who shits in the cereal.
Yeah, someone's always shitting in the apple pie. And on the apple pie, that shit's back. And then he gets his throat slit.
He just walks up and cuts his throat.
And there's like a Tetris scene that's really random in here where the guy's running around like the bushes and doing all that. And then
the fruit thing too. Yeah, remember? Oh god, that's so.
Oh yeah, they're playing Pac-Man.
Remember he has the machete and he cuts the suit and it's his guts come out. And it's like, what the?
Screw this! I'm getting bake aked, like BAKE and then AKED, bake aked. Like, I'm getting baked. But just, like, I'm getting a machete. And he's talking about playing, like, Andre Agassi didn't know how to play Tiddlywinks or something like that. Or, Bruisers and Bears. Like,
there's also another great line. There's a great line with his character, Jay Tranzik. I can't say his last name.
Yeah, Jay Chandrasekhar?
Yeah. Whenever he's pinned into the room and then the killer comes walking and he goes, "Oh, it's you. I knew it was always good." He's like, and then Kevin Heffernan and the girls in the other room, he's like, "Damn it, just say his name."
I knew it was you the entire time.
It's like, just say his name, damn it.
But like, and then Kevin Heffernan's character knows all the Krav Maga and like he knows all the
touches his nose and the guy drops.
So then he's like, he'll be orgasming for the next 3 minutes. And the guy's just like, "Ooh. It's always fun until someone breaks the jacuzzi." Like, this movie, like, I don't know what people were expecting from it because the commercials, the previews, the characters, the poster, it basically said what this movie is.
Yeah, when I saw this, I bought it in a twin pack with Super Troopers. There was
Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah, Kramer versus Kramer. It was with Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, goodness.
So when I picked it up, I was like, well, I know exactly what this movie's about, and it was great. It was a great little find. It was just fun, and I don't see why there would be so much hate for it, because when I first saw that everybody didn't like this back in 06, I think it was when I think I first saw it, and I was just like, well, I'll miss this one and I'll wait for Beer Fest, and I watched Beer Fest, and I love that movie, but they I watched Club Dread, and it was like, well, why do people not like this movie? It's great. It's funny. It's ridiculous. There's a lot of great one-liners.
The killer never stops coming towards him. Remember at the end, the killer's cut in half and he attacks again? And then the guy's like, oh, come on.
And then he gets tied to the boat. Yeah. And then it ends with his legs kicking, swimming towards them.
I just love it. Oh, come on. I don't know, just you could tell they were having fun, and I do think it's inspired. And I don't know, Machete Coletti, what a great Machete Phil.
Yeah, right.
And then that scene where she's like, play what's Jimmy Buffett's big song?
Margaritaville.
Yeah, play Margaritaville. And Coconut Pete's, all right, we're gonna get our R rating here. He's like, Margaritaville. He's like, motherfucker, son of a bitch.
I think you're talking about Pina Colada Bird. Yeah, that was made 7.5 years before that movie. That song even came out. But you wouldn't know that because you were born in 1980.
You think Eddie Money has to put up with this shit? The Minneapolis Man go, exactly. Yeah. Is that a threat? But just seeing the fun that Bill Paxton had, you could tell he loved playing Coconut Pete. You could just tell. And for years after it, he passed away. It sucked. But he would join the podcast with Steve Lemmy and Kevin Heffernan have a podcast. And he would join their podcast just to hang out. He loved these guys. And if you do get the DVD, there's 2 commentaries on it. The group of 5, they split up in a group of 3 and group of 2, and there's 2 commentaries for it. So it's just fun. Oh, when he's with Penelope, when he first hooks up with Penelope, and he goes, what are you, kind of some circus freak? Like that? I can't do his voice. Juan's voice, but I don't know, he just calls her a circus freak, and he calls her Penelope, and it's just I don't know. I have fond memories of this movie. So when it's kind of weird, this is a movie where people are like, I hate that. I'm like, really?
How can it be? It's not that rough of a movie.
No.
So I don't really understand the distaste for it.
Can we say?
I kind of get why people wouldn't like the Slammin' Salmon. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
Oh my! I love Michael Clark Duncan. Punch him in the gut, make him smell like a skunk. Wiki. It's like,
and then he kind of fails a little bit. But
get back to work.
What Rocky Marciano cherries?
Did you know that the Marciano cherry was named after the boxer Rocky Marciano? It's actually Rocky Marciano, champ. Whatever,
Mama.
He's like, stop insulting me in front of my Tokyokian guests.
Will Forte's in that movie, Kobe Smulders. That's a funny flick. I like it.
Yeah, Will Forte was in a couple other movies when he did.
Oh yeah, he's in Beer Fest.
He was great. Whenever he's like he keeps going. And how do you say this in English? It's one line that keeps going and going. And that movie's just so funny. The scene where in Beer Fest, whenever they're training for the Beer Fest, and they show Germany and they're lifting up kegs over their head while on treadmills.
They're like the guy from The Guest, David from The Guest.
Yeah, that's where they got the idea from.
Yeah, you're right. All right, can we say it's not that bad?
It's not that bad. I mean, it's not going to win any Oscars, but it's definitely something worth watching.
I think it still has a chance. Most underappreciated movie from 17 years ago. What do you got next?
My next movie that I picked, I saw this in theaters. It's on demand right now, or you can rent it. But it was filmed here in Georgia, and it was filmed at Six Flags actually. And they did as a promotional device was that they actually created this park within their Six Flags parks to promote the movie. It kind of worked. But the movie is 2018's Hellfest. It gets a 5.6 on IMDb, 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, 46% with the audience, and 26 Metascore.
Oh, wow. So it's a lower Metascore than a Rotten Tomatoes score. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and not even by a little bit, a whole lot.
Yeah, wow, 15 points.
Yeah. It's a really good movie. The basic premise is, there's a group of, they're supposed to be 20-somethings that every year they go to this thing called Hellfest, which is basically like the Six Flags Scarefest. So they go to this, and it's just a group of friends, and then one by one they all get slaughtered. It's an old school slasher film. I loved it. It was. I think that the reason why a lot of people didn't like it was because they didn't get it. That happens a lot with movies. They watch it and they just go, oh well, this really wasn't my thing. So therefore, I think I talked about this. I'll mention it again at the end of this program. Was the movie Exposure? It's just people just didn't understand it. But it's just an old school slasher film. Yeah. Spoiler alert, the first death that happens is with the guy who is the main character. I mean, like every one of these movies, you always think it's going to be the hunky guy, which strangely enough was played by a guy that I used to know years ago. His name's Christian James. I used to know him years ago until he moved off to LA. But I saw his name in the credits when I was watching the movie. And I was like, oh, that's a guy's name. I used to be friends with him. And then boom, he comes walking out on the screen. I was like, holy smokes.
Hey.
Well, that's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
So you would think they would be like him, or I forget the name of the other guy that are the stars in this, but they're the more like the jockey types, the ones that you would think would get killed first doing something stupid, but they actually they don't. And it's the dorky guy, the tall gangly guy who's the smart one, who has a very like dominant presence on the screen. He's showcased more. Camera angles favor him more because you're like, oh well, he's really
a little bit of misdirection.
Exactly, and they do exactly what Hitchcock does. He's the first one to get smoked. I mean, he's the one that gets whenever he's going to steal a stuffed animal for the girl. You know, the killer takes the sledgehammer, pops him in the throat, and then he's on the ground. He's like, oh, I remember when I saw it in
very
theaters.
Good practical effect too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then and he takes the sledgehammer and smashes his head like Gallagher would for a watermelon. I was like, it's a throwback that I think four members probably remember.
I mean, there's needles in the eyes. There's
that's the other one, and that's a very good, very tense scene because it's an extreme close up on his eye. I mean, that's. Wham! And then another great scene is when it's the two girls. They're in the room with all the different masks and they're hiding, and then the masked guy comes walking in. It's a very well made slasher film. It's a great throwback to like April Fool's Day or any of those The Prowler.
Yeah,
but with less violence. If you ever see The Prowler,
I think what really makes it work is the director Gregory Plotkin. He was the editor for the Paranormal Activity movies. He edited Game Night. He edited Happy Death Day and Get Out. He's a Blumhouse editor. And so...
he knows what sells, especially for really cheap.
Yeah,
he can really do it. I mean, it was...
it's taut. It's an in-and-out movie. And I kind of like that the killer shows up to these Hellfests, and once that girl just called someone a freak, like the loud girl from the 80s who just talks about sex.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The 80s stereotype.
Yeah,
all over the place.
Girl with the short hair.
Yeah, it reminded me of Return of the Living Dead.
That girl, the one that's like, my fantasy is to be raped by a bunch of dead people or something. And you're like, oh, okay. And then, lo and behold. Yeah.
And then he hunts them because of that, right? Because once he hears that, then he goes after them, that group.
I thought he was just killing randomly.
No, but he heard her say that, and then he targeted them.
Oh,
because when she said that, he was. Remember, they showed him.
That adds more to the old school slasher.
Yeah, so he just goes and he probably waited for a jerk, and she said that line, and then he targeted them.
Whoop,
yep,
turn around. Oh,
and I kind of love that. Hey, there's a killer here. Well, there's not, because this is the security guard in this movie.
He's. I just did a movie where he played someone else in that, and I said that to him. I was like, I saw you in Hellfest. I was like, you did a great job, and he's like, oh, you saw that?
I've been on screen with him in Resurrection Season 2.
What?
It's one of the later episodes, but if you watch Resurrection towards the end of maybe episode 10, he plays one of the goons, and I'm one of his goons. And he knocks out Omar Epps, and I gotta catch Omar Epps, and I have to drag Omar Epps out of a scene. So I was a goon for the security guard in this. I was one of his flunkies in Resurrection. Wow. So when I see him, I'm always like, I'm one degree from him.
He's a very nice guy.
But I mean, what can you do though? Hey, someone's after me, but it's an entire park where people can put their hands on you because the entire
they go to the extreme side of the haunting, because that way people could actually physically touch you, so they don't actually know who's who.
And there are horror things like that where people can put their hands on you. You have to sign waivers and do all that crap.
Yeah,
I could never do it.
No, I mean, I wouldn't even want to do that, or I'm bringing my girlfriend or whatever to see that because you know exactly what would happen there.
Yeah, but I just like I guess the best thing about it is it's good in the background.
it's a great movie to have just like kind of on, and it's nothing you really have to think about. If you like slasher films, I mean, I've always loved slasher films. The good ones, the 70s, the late 70s to mid 80s were great, but then anything past that kind of peters out. But it's just great to have on. I mean, it's nothing too crazy,
and it won't wreck your night like a Requiem for a Dream or an I Saw the Devil or one of those movies. So you can put it on; it's undemanding. And like I said, Gregor Plotkin, the director, I mean, he's an editor, so he makes it taut. He makes the budget like it had to have been a very low budget.
$5.5 million.
Yeah, that's about right for those movies.
Yeah,
I mean, in today's world, that's nothing. That's nothing.
That's literally nothing. And it made 11 million around the world. So there very well could be a Hellfest too.
Yeah, let's say you marketed it. You know, you probably. I mean, I know that the marketing wasn't much for this. I didn't see much marketing. You spend $4 million, $5 million, so it made its money back. And plus, with DVD rentals, it's going to turn a profit. But it's economical. It's taut.
It's shot by the guy who did Apollo 18.
Yeah, I love Apollo 18.
That was our first conversation. Remember in the parking lot, and you're like, "Hey, Kelly, what about those rock monsters in Apollo 18?
Give me back my rocks." Wait, that's the first thing we talked about on Anchorman?
That was one of the, well, the first thing was the ridiculous advertisement for a La Jolla a shirt and lawyers
bronzing stuff.
And then it was that, and then you were like, "Hey, so you like cheesy movies?" And I was like, "I love it." And you're like, "Hey, okay, so Apollo 18.
Rock monsters. They steal rocks, and the rocks just want, like, they took rocks, and the rocks are, okay, just put me back." That's the whole movie. But yeah, I mean, it's well shot. They shot it quick. I wonder how many nights it shot. It was all nights. I would have hated to work on that.
Majority of it was.
Yeah.
I had a few friends that did work on it.
What, like 20-day shoot?
I don't think I asked them how long it was, but I texted my one friend who worked on it. I think she was the first team PA, and she said she didn't know it was actually how good of a movie it would be because, like, as well as everything being shot overnight. I mean, that's hell on everybody.
You're not even conscious. Like, even if you've been doing it for a couple weeks, you're still not there.
No, I mean, I did a movie and a TV show that was all at nights, and that was an entire summer. So it was like 3 months I had that was strictly nights. That was one of the worst experiences ever.
That's when you forgot your name.
That's when you found.
I was like, "Hey, Chris, what's up? Who's that? Who are you? Where's my wallet?"
I rise up out of the lake like Apocalypse Now.
Where's Kelly at? And you see him in the background with like the tube of death going, and you're rising out with the fog. Kelly's gone crazy. Get him some sleep.
Quick, get the tranquilizer dart.
People are just dropping. You have to trank the crew members that have gone crazy, and then they make you sleep for a few hours.
Passes out on Crafty.
Then you wake up 2 hours later, and you're like, "I'm good." That's more sleep than I've gotten in 6 months. Where's Kelly at? He's doing that scene from Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, quick! So someone get the hummus and bell peppers. He's gone off the deep end.
Actually, you made me hungry. So let's go eat some hummus and bell peppers. When we come back, we'll cover the 3 final movies that just aren't that bad. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. That was delicious hummus, Chris.
Oh, thank you. My mom makes it, actually. It's the secret is in with the white beans. If you soak them for 2 days as opposed to 1 day, and then it really mashes in well. Put a little bit of garlic, minimal amount of onion powder.
Oh, wow. So now we know how... let's just talk about this from now. Like, let's do a hummus podcast.
It's actually... it's not bad. I mean, my mom makes really good lentil soup, too. But again, the secret is in the garlic. You got to cook the garlic with the vegetables before you boil it, because that way it actually soaks in. A lot of people make the rookie mistake by just layering their spices. That's good if you want a good broth, but if you actually want to put it within the vegetables, cook everything with the vegetables, then put it in the pot, boil.
Can I tell you what the greatest broth in the history of television and movies is? Can I tell you what it is?
From the movie It.
Have you ever watched Arrested Development?
I have not.
So Carl Weathers, it's Carl Weathers as Carl Weathers on the show. And there's a scene where he's like, he's like, "You're going to waste these ribs?" He's like, "There's still meat on it. You take these things, you throw it in some soup, you got broth, baby." Like, so he's just talking about eating. Like, it's Carl Weathers talking about saving the meat on rib bones to make broth on Arrested Development. Perfect.
Oh man, remember what happened to Carl Weathers? Is he still around?
Yeah, I'm sure they were talking about him, and he's another movie's coming out. They want him to be in.
Really?
Yeah.
I was talking about Ernie Hudson the other day. He's on Grace and Frankie. He actually does a really good job in that show.
Ernie Hudson's awesome.
He plays it was the boyfriend of, is it Lily Tomlin or is it Jane Fonda? I can't remember.
I don't know. I've never watched it.
It's actually really funny. It's really kind of like it's more adult humor, but it's definitely funny. And Ernie Hudson's in it. He does a really good job.
I liked him in. I mean, he's one of the actors that just doesn't get too much love, does he? No Escape. That was
the thing that I was talking about with my friend. I was like, you don't really see him too much, and my friend was like, oh, that's the guy from Ghostbusters. Like that was like 35 years ago. Like,
there's no reason for him not to be in more.
No, he definitely has a great screen presence,
and he's really friendly at Comic-Cons. He dresses up as a Ghostbuster, stands in front. So him and Henry Winkler would stand in front of their tables and sign. So they wouldn't just sit behind and act like.
Oh, like, I have a barrier between me and my fans. There's some
people that just acted afraid of the people, like send him, like give him money and they would sign and kind of be like, get away from me. But then he was just out front taking pictures with people. Some people charged $20 just to take a selfie. Like he's like, take a photo, come on.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like his autographs were like $20.
It's like the time I met Carrot Top. Come on, take a selfie. Be like,
Yeah, he's cool. Like, and him and this warm presence always neat. Like he got. These people are giving him money, so he always made a show for it. So I had a lot of respect for him because I saw a lot of people not doing that.
That's great. I mean, that's great to see that he's giving back to the fans and just being very, very nice and approachable.
And they loved him, dude. Like, imagine if you're a Ghostbusters fan, you show up in Ghostbusters outfit, cosplay, and you can get a photo with Ernie Hudson in his suit. That's
some bragging rights.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know I would definitely be like, oh my god, you're not going to believe what I got a picture with.
Well, bam! So speaking of Ghostbusters, let's get into the next movie that's just not that bad. And that's The Lone Ranger. What do you think?
To be honest with you, I saw this movie.
Does that transition work?
Oh.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's funny. It throws it off.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It doesn't work. But that's why it does work.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
But the 2013 movie... The budget was between $225 and $250 million. Shit. The budget. The original budget was much higher. And, they built real train. They used real trains. They laid a real track.
And they wound up donating those trains to the train yards because it was just... there's just so many of them. They
built real track for this movie.
They built like what was it like? I read it was like a massive like circle or something. It was like almost like a mile long. Like that is insane. That is an insane amount of track.
And you know what's so this movie cost $250 million. It made $260 million worldwide. Rotten Tomatoes scores 51. Audience scores 51. Metascore is only 37. So this movie, it's pretty interesting because. Armie Hammer told a story. He's like, we were shooting 2013's Lone Ranger, and Tom Wilkinson had to do a thing where he pulls out a pocket watch and flips it, and it opens on his hand. It was a cool little trick. So because they had a borderline unlimited budget, they're like, let's bring in the yo-yo world champion. He was like, that's not a yo-yo. And they go, yeah, but can you help him do it? And he goes, yeah. You pull it out of your pocket and just do that. And they're like, awesome. Tom goes like this, and he's like, yeah, like that. Just like that. And then he was with them for the rest of the movie, and he got paid to be with him for the rest of 6 months, the yo-yo champion, for one little thing.
That scene where he pulls it out and flicks it around his finger.
And so he just showed Tom Wilkinson that. Tom Wilkinson picked it up immediately. And this yo-yo champion got paid for the entire shoot.
Good Lord.
They were throwing money. Like, they were just throwing money around on this movie. But the thing is, what I feel like on this film is I feel like every cent is seen on screen.
It's definitely a movie that when you see it, you can tell that they spent a lot of money on it. The visual effects are dynamite.
Groundbreaking. Not groundbreaking, but very visually inventive and fun.
If I'm not mistaken, it was nominated for an Oscar for it. Yeah. I believe so. I mean, it's definitely, you can tell. I mean, they put a lot of money and a lot of heart and soul into it to create this really good, not really good, but I mean, it's definitely not that bad of a movie.
It's not that bad. It was nominated for Best Makeup and Hairstyling and Best Visual Effects.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
the visual effects are great. I mean, it looks almost realistic. There's only one scene that I watched and I was kind of like going, all right, that's clearly fake, which was whenever all the cavalry are coming down the hill.
They get wiped out.
Yeah, it's like, that's clearly fake. But the most of it though, I mean, it looks like, I mean, the backdrop and everything looks like a painting, and it looks real, and then you see the actors interacting with it. And I mean, it's very hard to tell that there's like, is that really a green screen? It's very difficult, but it was great. I thought those scenes were very well done. I personally didn't really like how it was like a story being told to the little kid.
Yeah, it was like a Princess Bride type sort of thing. Like,
I felt like that was like a favor to someone. Like Gore Verbinski was like, had like, he had his buddy from, the Circle Jerks or something like that. He was a punk rock director for years. Probably was like, hey man, can you put my kid in your movie? And he's like, why not? Probably. But it was great. But we had to think about it at the time when it came out.
People were hating it before it came out.
Oh yeah, that was because
Johnny Depp.
Was Johnny Depp? He was playing a Native American.
Did he have was the Amber Heard thing in the news?
That wasn't there yet. That was like, I think 2 years later.
Maybe that's the massive budget. Everyone's like, this movie's over budget, so it sucks. Like John Carter.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, that was the other thing was John Carter.
They like hated it before it came out.
Well, I mean, little John Carter.
I liked it. Oof. I think that movie was doomed before it came out, I believe.
Well, it was supposed to come out when I was in college, and then it didn't come out till like 5 years later. Because I remember it was supposed to come out like in 2007 or 2006, and then it didn't come out till like 2011.
Expensive, a lot of visual effects.
Oh yeah, I mean it's right up there with Prince of Persia, but
yeah,
that's a lot of visual effects. But it was just like, what are you really expecting when you see this? I mean, it wouldn't be the same if it wasn't without the visual effects. Johnny Depp playing a Native American, and to balance that, he said, "Well, it's because I'm actually 1/3 Native American." It's like, oh, Johnny, you're just digging yourself.
And then he took a test, a DNA.
Yeah, turns out he was 1/24,000%.
He's like 70%. Everyone's like, wait, what?
Whoa. Okay, so now he got more jobs.
Holy crap!
So now we have.
Imagine that. I'm 1/64th. Actually, you're 87%. Wait, what?
Like high fives. And I think that the Lone Ranger, it was just a bad timing. I mean, we already did the Pirates movies, which that was a gamble in itself.
Yeah.
And no one was really expecting those to take off very well. I liked the first one. The second one I thought was kind of dumb. The third one was horrible. I didn't see 4 or 17 or however many.
5 is fun because there's zombie sharks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I think this one just had bad press. I mean, they're a Lone Ranger. $250 million wasn't really needed.
No, it definitely was not. They could have made an equally as good movie with half the budget, I think so, and also about half the time, because the movie's like 2.5 hours long, almost 2 hours and 40
There's
minutes.
A lot of meat on that bone. You can make some broth with this movie. You can make soup, not broth.
You can make an entire Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just there was just so much going on. I thought one of the bigger scenes that was just not really necessary or needed was the end scene where the Lone Ranger and that whole scene was like 15 minutes. That was a very long.
Oh, the train sequence. Yeah, I love that at the end.
It's cool, but holy smokes!
Yeah, I liked. I love the bit when Johnny Depp is on the ladder, and he's going back and forth between the different trains.
Yeah.
I guess for me, this movie, I think I went into it knowing that everyone was already hating on it, so I was like, maybe this movie might be good. And Gore Verbinski, he made Cure for Wellness. We did a podcast on it. I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah.
That's a big bloated movie too, but I love it. His Pirates movies were big and after one were big and kind of bloated. Mm-hmm. So I just
and all of his he did a lot of punk rock, a lot of punk videos and a lot of skateboard videos, which is where he gets his ideas for more of the stunts that he has, which is why they look more crazy.
That's interesting. Like in the first Pirates, the sword fight between Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp, that was really creative. He does do some pretty good set pieces, and I just think
he's really good with what he does. It's just I think that he kind of overshot it with the Lone Ranger, and it's just kind of like, let's just put as much as we can possibly fit into this movie.
Yeah, and a lot of people are just they say it's the biggest flop ever. They say it's like terrible. This is not. It made $260 million worldwide. It easily lost Disney. Easily lost them $100 million.
Yeah, that's a big flop.
But there's been bigger. So, but I just don't think this movie is that bad. I think there's like a weird hate towards it. Maybe because of the big budget, maybe because of the Johnny Depp stuff. But
Well, Johnny Depp was at the end of his like Johnny Deppness.
Yeah, his big reign.
He was really at his peak in like 2009 ish, like somewhere around that. The Secret Window, I think, was probably like where he was trying to branch out and no longer do his Hunter Thompson stuff anymore.
Yeah,
and then of course, I mean, after he did Fear and Loathing, he did Pirates, and then Pirates was like more. Yeah, it was the biggest thing ever. So it was like everybody just wanted to see Johnny Depp doing Johnny Depp, and it's like, well, this guy can actually act. If anybody remembers, like he really does do decent roles. He can do stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as most people hate this movie, I don't think it's not as terrible. But it is a bad movie.
Oh, so you're not into this movie?
No,
it's not that bad.
No, The Tourist.
Oh, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that's a bad movie, but he does do a good job.
The Tourist isn't bad. It's just bland. Like it's just a tapioca
The ending
pudding.
was just god awful, especially when he's like, but he doesn't have that color of hair. He's like, hair dye, and they're like, but he smokes 2 packs a day, electronic cigarette, and you're like, oh come on, like. And what about the Ninth Gate? The Ninth Gate. Yeah. That was that scene. I mean, the whole thing with like the woman floating down from the steps. It's like classic, and it's just like, yep, I just watched this woman float down a staircase and then kill these 3 guys. Like, and it's not like, and it's a very Roman Polanski. Like you're watching some crazy stuff, and it's like just deal with it.
The Tourist had a boat chase in Venice. That's boring.
Hey.
That's a really boring boat chase right there. I guess for me, I'm saying The Lone Ranger is not that bad because it's a $250 million movie where every cent is seen on screen. They built train tracks to do it. Like it's just
they really went above and beyond.
It's brash. It's very violent. A lot of people die. There's a dark sense of humor in it. That band collapses. Remember? And then later on they're playing. They all have like neck braces on. It's a very weird sense of humor. I just love that. This $250 million Lone Ranger movie was made. That weird.
That's definitely above and beyond. But, I mean, they gave him all that money based off of the success of Pirates. I mean, I guess the way they looked at it was even if it was a massive failure, they would still come out in the green.
They got that Pirates money.
They got them. I mean, how many billions of dollars have those made? I mean,
I wonder how much the DVD of Pirates made.
I don't even want to know.
That was a legit event. That was a cultural, like not a cultural, that sounds bad, but that was a blockbuster.
That was a big thing. And a lot of people went above and beyond. That's whenever everybody started liking Johnny Depp. Yeah. I mean, I remember going to the DVD store whenever I was in high school still, and people were saying, oh my God, Johnny Depp's like the greatest actor ever. Like, how do you not love him? I was like, I don't know, 21 Jump Street wasn't that good. It's like, what's that? Haven't you ever seen, Pirates? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like
or Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands, which
I love that movie. His performance,
his performance is great. The overall movie's like me.
It's pretty interesting how much of a chance he took on Pirates, and then that felt organic, and I felt a lot of the chances he took off that didn't really feel too organic.
He was repeating what he had done from that, and he was already in Pirates. He was doing Fear and Loathing, so then it was just bigger on Pirates, and then after Pirates, everything was just that. So everyone associated Jack Sparrow with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Transcendence and et cetera, and it's like they weren't really it wasn't very good acting, but he knew what sold, and that's what sold was him wearing his scarf and being like and it's like that'll sell like so many, like women love me. It's like okay, like
I do love the visual in Lone Ranger where the horse is standing in the tree.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, this horse always does crazy stuff, and Tonto is just like, oh my gosh, what kind of horse is this? Like, I love the horse. So it's not that bad. All right, what's your next one?
Sorry. I just want to add to Lone Ranger when he's like, can you stop calling me Kimosabe? Do you even know what Tonto means in Spanish? Such a great line. Apparently in the Spanish version of that movie, it's not Tonto, it's Toro.
Oh.
Because Tonto, I forget, it's an insult in Spanish, whereas Toro means bull.
Oh, I remember that line. That's fun.
That's a fun one. Mine is 2017's Triple X3, The Return of Xander Cage. I saw this movie in the Dollar Theater. I absolutely loved it right off the bat. I don't really understand why there's so much hate for it. It's a 5.2 on IMDb. 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, 37% with the audience, and a 42 Metascore.
This movie's bonkers, and it only made $44 million domestic, which isn't much, but it made $346 million worldwide. Which,
and on an $85 million budget, which is ridiculous. There's I gotta say is, okay, this is, the first one came out in 2001. This one came out in 2017. There's only been one other one, which was with Ice Cube before he started doing family movies and, you know, pulling an Eddie Murphy. What were you expecting? What were people honestly expecting with 50-year-old Vin Diesel, who decided not to go back to any action movies and wanted to be a serious actor, but of course he had to have bills to pay because Find Me Guilty bankrupt him almost.
A Man Apart.
I liked A Man Apart.
Yeah, but you know what's funny?
Lorenz Tate was the shit.
He left Fast and the Furious to do A Man Apart, and then he left his family, and then he went back to Fast because we're family. But A Man Apart. It's funny that he left the family to do A Man Apart.
A man who's all about his family.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts out with Vin Diesel on skis going through. Oh, I'm sorry, but he's on a radio tower first, or a TV tower. Jumps off of that
quarter mile
as he's falling down. Gives them the finger. The guys are like, "Come on down now, no!"
And they know him. They're like, "Xander, come on, man!"
Yeah, like so they know he's going to do something. So it's like there's no tension there. Jumps off, gives them the finger, lands on skis his way through the jungle, hops off the
jungle. He has no roots. He careens off a tree that's 14. He jumps something, bounces off a palm tree, and then goes down. He hits no roots, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's so dorky.
And he goes onto a skateboard that he takes from those kids, like, "Yay, Xander!"
I'd be like, "Yo, Xander!"
I'm like, "You took my skateboard." Yeah. You only got like one of those in the entire island. Marty McFly's his way through the town, risks life and limb, quite literally, just so that people can watch the soccer match.
He's Robin Hood.
Unbelievable. You got Donnie Yen, who everybody should know from Ip Man, if you haven't seen
he's so good in it.
He was originally supposed to be Jet Li. I was supposed to play it, but they couldn't get scheduling conflicts to work out. But I thought Jet Li retired.
I like Donnie Yen better now. I loved him in this movie.
Oh, he's dynamite.
And
Jesus.
I love that crew in general. Him, Michael Bisping, who's one of my favorite MMA fighters. He was the UFC middleweight champ for a while. The British guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
He was in the UFC. He was a middleweight champ.
Oh.
He had the most wins in UFC history. Then you had Tony Jaa from Ong Bak. Like, I loved all these people in this movie.
Deepika Padukone? I can't pronounce her name, but the lady that's in that.
Oh yeah.
This is like her American breakthrough. She was originally supposed to do Fast 7, but she decided to do this because of scheduling conflicts.
Nice. Oh, she was going to do Fast 7?
Yeah. Or what is it called? Fast 7 or Furious 7? Furious 7.
Furious 7.
But that was, I mean, she's great in it too. The only thing I had kind of like a weird issue with is that she's like clearly way better looking than anything that Vin Diesel could ever get. And he's like 50, and she's like the love interest, even though she's 31, he's 50.
He creeps me out a little bit in this movie.
That was like the creepy thing. That was really like, I was just like, maybe we should have cut that part out, because you're maybe if this was like the first XXX movie, I'd believe it because you would have been around the same age. Not so much now that you're way drastically older. But the great scene with them while they're at the bar, or the club scene where we're kind of first introduced to her, and they have their grenades and they're using it like Russian roulette. That was really creative and cool, because I mean they kind of throw them across the table and they have to catch it and hold the pin before it blows up. I mean there's some really good scenes with that. I mean you got the opening, you have the motorcycle jet skis. I mean, come on.
Vin Diesel chases Donnie Yen on a motorcycle jet ski. Like life doesn't get any better than that. And then I like the return of Ice Cube. The one thing though, this movie starts a little rough because after he skis down the mountain, he hooks up with like this beautiful woman, right? And then he just leaves her. Like
that didn't make too much sense.
And then he shows up at this hacker woman's house and he has like an orgy with all these 20-year-old girls.
But you can't forget that coat, the big puffy coat.
But it made me feel kind of dirty watching Vin Diesel just mac on all these 20-year-old girls.
It really grossed me out because he's like, "Hey, baby, what's up?" Yeah, it's like it was that was gross, but it's just so it's the whole overall feel of it, because it's like, well, of course. I mean, it's a XXX Part 3 movie, and it's like, come on. I mean.
I hope he did that humorously and not just like, yeah, people want me. I thought Nina Dobrev was off. Like, they just let her loose in this movie. I thought she was really fun. in this.
I like how she was a lot different than what she would normally play, which would be more like an uptight type of character, but she was a little bit more like...
She loved getting out of Vampire Diaries, you could tell. She just had fun.
She could not get... You could tell she was really, really having fun with it.
Yeah.
I forgot, there was a scene that I did like with Ruby Rose, where whenever they're trying to kill the CIA director, and he has all the heating lamps in the room with Vin Diesel so that you couldn't see him. So then he sees a blind spot, and then Vin Diesel moves closer to it. He has his hands up against his head. He's like, to be honest, I'm looking at you because you got something stuck in your teeth. And he's like, what? And he goes, it's right there. And he moves his finger, and it's like he's giving him the finger, and then that little hole is where Ruby Rose shoots through. It's like the little like
she's that good of a sniper. Yeah. I love that makes sense.
That was
I like the chase scene in Detroit is a lot of fun, where they're running through the streets. Like it's Michael Bisping is fighting Michael Bisping, the British guy, would destroy poor Vin Diesel. Oh, gosh, but just watching the fight and like watching Tony Jaa run and like I love that the pace of that chase scene. I like when they teamed up. I like Toni Collette. She was dynamite.
She's
an Oscar-nominated actress.
It's so weird because she's an amazing actress. She's done dynamite work. The Night Listener, Hereditary, and then XXX3. It's like, and there's great one-liners, especially he says, well, what we need you to do, we need you to kick ass, get the girl, and try to look dope while doing it. Yeah. And it's like great. And it's like, she's like, whenever Vin Diesel's fighting the British guy, and this is in the airplane, remember they're duking it out, and the guy's like busting through all the computers.
Oh, that was Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
The security dude.
Yes. So he's like busting through the computers and everything, and then they get into the bathroom. And the guy, Vin Diesel moves out of the way, and then he punches through the toilet, and then he busts a big hole. Vin Diesel throws the guy through the toilet, and he yells at him, "It's going to take 2 flushes." That movie's bonkers. I loved it. And then you got at the end of it, you got Ice Cube. He rolls up in that vehicle. He
saves him in the warehouse.
Yeah, and it's so good. And you got the ending. You got the 2 hot girls. Smoking dudes left and right with the guns. It's just all around not that bad of a movie. It's
not that bad. As an action film, I think it's unpretentious. It's not self-conscious, and it has a very nice international cast. And I think they gave enough room. There's men and women who are badasses. International cast. Toni Collette is awesome in it. Like it's. One thing that can be said about Vin Diesel is if you watch the Fast movies, well, even like Fast, he wasn't even in Fast and Too Fast, Too Furious, but that one had Paul Walker, Tyrese, Ludacris.
It was Tyrese was like to replace the Vin Diesel character.
But it was like they've always been very inclusive in their films. Like Fast 5, they went to Brazil and brought in like Gal Gadot and Sung Kang. Those movies like that, I guess Vin Diesel must have a lot of control over that he knows a lot about worldwide marketing. But I loved having Tony Jaa, Donnie Yen.
That is a great scene with them.
Topeka, I thought was really cool. It was just neat having just international flair to it, and it's just I guess that's one thing I really respect about Vin Diesel movies. I think he goes out of his way to really make these cool like worldwide international movies, and that's why they make $350 million worldwide. Mm-hmm. Like that's why people love it. And this, I don't know, man, this movie. You can't take it serious. It's not in this world.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
this is a different world.
Jet ski motorbikes is just the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I love this scene where they're trying. It's Vin Diesel and Donnie Yen that are climbing up the stairs, and there's an assassin that's trying to take them out. So they're trying to get him to waste bullets. So then they have this conversation. He's like, "Yo, I think he's got like 5 bullets left." He's like, "You think?" He's like, and then he puts his, Donnie puts his hand out, like shoots, brings it back, puts his foot out, does it again, looks up, and then it's just like they're playing with him. And then the last one is he gives him the finger, and the guy's like, "What the?" And then Vin Diesel's right behind him, punches him in the face. It's like, this is an all around goof.
And that guy goes fish in a barrel. I mean, that's, it's just fun. It's not self-conscious. Rory McCann, who's the Hound, he's the driver who like headbutts stuff and puts in the mouth thing. He's from Game of Thrones. I don't know, man. It's just
It's an all right. I mean, I'm looking forward to part 4.
Yeah, they're gonna make it.
Of course. I mean, this movie made a killing.
I don't know. I guess
the soundtrack didn't change, which I was really happy about because that is just great Euro trash music.
Like remember the first one had like Rammstein and like
there was two. It came with 2 discs. One was the rap and one was the rock. And
really?
Yeah, they had. I remember this because my friend. He bought it like right when it came out. He's like, "Listen to this," and I was like, "This sucks." But he really liked it. But he would play it, and they had like this. They had half of the rap disc. I think was in Spanish.
Oh, I love that the fast movies. They do like a lot of Pitbull and like Daddy Yankee and stuff like that. I love all that. Like,
yeah, it's fun. It's not meant to be taken seriously. So it's good, and I was glad that they kept that with XXX3.
Yeah, I want to watch it again right now. I watched it again. I had it on in the background for this because, we talked about it last week. So I just put it on randomly one day. And I would find myself watching it going, man, I love this movie.
Yeah, right?
Oh, also, Donnie Yen gets shot in this movie. Then he parachutes down and you think he's dead. Then he makes a miraculous recovery. And I think they ignore the gunshot after that.
Oh, yeah, like in Rampage where he gets shot in the gut and then somehow he's like...
They forget about it. I think they straight up... because I thought Donnie Yen was going to die in this movie. And then he just gets a second wind. And then the gunshot's no more.
Oh, you got to bring him back for part 4.
Yeah. Oh, he needs to be. All right, so the last movie that we have that's not that bad is 30 Days a Night. It's a little higher rated. But I'm going to say this. 51% critic, 56% audience, 53% Metacritic. This movie is not a 50%er movie to me. This movie directed by David Slade, produced by Sam Raimi. I think there's a lot of...
he was originally supposed to direct it.
Yeah, a lot of talent behind the camera. This movie's not a 50%er. I think this is like a 70%er. And I don't really understand... so it's not that bad. It's not a 50%er.
No, it's definitely not. I've seen it multiple times, but I think the last time I saw it was like a year ago, so I watched it again last night to refresh myself. It's very enjoyable. There's a lot of genuine scary moments. I mean, these vampires,
they're mean.
They're gangsta. I mean,
they're mean.
That scene where it's like...
And they're well-dressed.
Extremely well-dressed. I was really impressed with the lead vampire, who usually plays like wholesome dad roles, which was a great casting choice because it totally threw the viewer off. So anyways, the scene where it's whenever the vampires first start taking over, and you got the husband who's in the living room watching TV, has a shotgun. His wife's like, "Why don't you eat some soup?" And he's like, "Hold on a second." Boom! Right through the window, vampire rips her right out, and it's like, "Holy moly!" Yep. Like, and he's like, just like the audience, you're like. The husband gets up. He's like, "What just happened?" You're like, "I have no idea." Like, he runs outside. His wife's being ripped underneath the house. They're tearing her to shreds. They grab him too, yank him through, and it's like, "Holy crap! What did I just watch?"
There's that woman who they send as bait through the streets, and then there's a scene where they just toy with her, and then they bite her neck off.
Yeah, they just each vampire kind of like slashes at her, and then it's just like, all right, well, we'll kill her now.
And you like the characters too. The guy who works in the plant, his friend, you like the people in the town. They have enough moment. I like that scene where Josh Hartnett and one of his friends are out and they're looking at the sunset before it goes dark. And the guy's like, "I took my wife here on our first date." And he's like, "We all did." He's like, "Well, not your wife. We all took our dates." That's a nice moment. Like you thought he was being like a jerk, but then he was like, "No, actually, everyone took their first date here." That's a nice, well-written moment. And I like Melissa George a lot. I think she's always been I like everyone from Alias, actually, but I think she did a really good job in this. Also, Josh Hartnett, I've been saying it for a while, and then he was in Penny Dreadful, but he's like a good action hero guy, because he's probably 6'3", 6'4", and in this movie, when he, that playground fight he had with the guy when he hacked off his net, and then when he had the fight at the end, he's just like a big dude. I buy him as like an action lead. He
reminds me kind of like of a young Kurt Russell. Whereas in the Thing, specifically the Thing, whereas like Kurt Russell's character, he doesn't want to be in charge, but he feels like he's thrown into this position, so he has to take this position. Much like Josh Hartnett in this movie, although he's the police officer and everyone's asking him for the questions, he's kind of like has this attitude like, I don't really know. I wish I was one of you, so I wouldn't have to figure this out. So he is being thrown into this position. So he's doing the things that you don't want to do, but you feel like you have to do in order for the town. You know, not so much for yourself, but it's like, well, I got to protect the town because that's who I am. I have to do this. And it's good. And he doesn't overly do it. There's no like him taking his shirt off and you see at
the end of the fight, like he's not going underworld.
He's getting beat up. Yeah. He's getting the crap kicked out of him.
And I love that scene where he writes that guy a ticket because it's leaking gasoline on the ground.
Yeah, and he has a great line saying like, I give him, I write, he's like, you didn't have to write him a ticket. He's like, well, I have to because he lives in the outskirts of town. This makes him feel part of a community.
Like, that's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
The worst part about this movie, though, the one part I don't like is when the two guys go up to the woman, they're like, well, whose house are you coming to tonight, sweet butt? Or something like that. Like, come on. Like, oh, you sexy bitch. Or like come on, guys.
They kind of had to.
But it's not from that movie, though. That's the thing. Like,
that was a scene. Yeah, I agree. It was a scene that they kind of just put it in there just so that people would be like, oh, LOL. But it's like, very shortly words after that was like the guy gets ripped up.
That's a cool shot. Yeah, he gets pulled out of nowhere. But
they do like paper, rock, scissors. Like, all right, 1, 2, 3.
Like, I feel like it should have been like 3 bull rat people going, hey, where are we going tonight, you sweet woman? Like, it's just like, oh, come on. Yeah. But also, I think that movie, I wrote an article on Movie Stones and Flicks about my favorite horror moments of this century. One of my legit favorite moments, and Roger Ebert actually wrote a lot about this in his review, the bird's eye view of the town during the attack.
Yeah,
and just watching the vampires rip the people apart, and you're following a guy with a shotgun just shooting vampires through the street.
You're following a person who you know is going to die.
From a bird's eye view. Yeah. Like, that's a really nice shot.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's one of my favorites.
The shots in this movie are really good.
It was originally a screenplay, but then the screenplay got rejected, so he turned it into a comic book, and then the comic book got picked up to make into a screenplay. So, but I mean, it was cool. Yeah, isn't that a great?
I bought the book when I was working. I got given the book because I was working Comic Cons. But I read it, but it stays faithful, but it also goes in different directions from the comic book a little bit as well. Ben Foster's in this movie with a New Orleans accent.
I didn't really. Yeah.
Where's this accent from? Give me ground beef.
Yeah, I didn't understand like some of the accent. I was like, I don't get it. Like, where would you have that in Alaska?
And was he with them in Russia? Did a guy from New Orleans go to because they're coming from, where?
Yeah, and who was the guy that
did they have discotheques on this ship? Because they're really well dressed.
They definitely look really, really good.
I want to know where they journeyed on this boat,
where they came from.
Yeah,
I would like to. And they're speaking in a language that doesn't even exist.
But the good thing is, when he puts Danny Houston, the main guy, puts his finger on the record player.
Yeah.
And it starts scratching. That was so cool.
That was cool. I like that. It was
But this movie, I think people were like, oh, it's not very good. But this movie went above and beyond with its shots, its cinematography, its acting. I mean, this is a movie with nice character moments in it.
Yeah. In the attic, whenever, Josh Hartnett has to tell everybody, what we can do to do. And then, you have different characters and different stories, like the father who has Alzheimer's, and he's like, I'm not gonna stay in here. I gotta find your mom. Mom's been dead for 5 years, Dad. No, shut up. And then they're like, be quiet, be quiet. Why should I be quiet? And he storms off. So it's like there was a whole nother story with that guy. Yeah. So no, obviously he dies. Horribly dies. But it's just. You had a little side story with Josh Hartnett and
Melissa George.
You had a nice little side story with them that they're going through separation. He wants to work it out, she doesn't, but this happens now, so they have to work together, and it's like, whoa, there's a whole history behind that, and of course, with Josh Hartnett's
self-sacrifice.
No, sorry, like his partner.
Oh, yeah.
The guy with the really weird southern accent, which how would you have that in Alaska? Like, I was born and raised here in Alaska. It's like, what?
Wait, what?
What part of Alaska was that?
The southern part. I'm from southern Alaska.
Yeah, okay. Just a straight, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, he's gonna be the southern guy who moved to Alaska. He's like, born and raised
to work
here.
The pipelines or something. At least they could have been like, hey, I've been here for 15 years and I never left.
I would have bought that, but it was like, born and raised in Alaska.
Because they were working the oil, right? Wasn't it the pipeline that was there?
And then at the end of it, the vampires put they I guess they dig trenches and throughout the whole town. Then they poke holes in the pipeline, and then they drop the match, and I think it was kind of like...
I want to see the scene with the vampires digging trenches.
Yeah. They're sitting there like, man, I really hate our boss. James, if it were up to me, we'd still be working at Subway.
Yeah. We were hanging out, and we're now vampires who are dressed well digging trenches. This is what he promised.
Yeah, he said we were gonna be living like kings. Man, I was all right working at the arcade.
Yeah.
My mom didn't complain about me living in the basement.
That's right. But I do like that when some of the vampires die, they hate it.
Yeah, they the
Danny Houston's not. When she dies,
Danny, man, there's a great gangsta shot. Whenever Josh Hartnett has that UV light, shines it right at the door, the girl comes running through, and she gets burned. And then they have this really great slow shot. It's like, ooh, he kind of gives him that look, like that. I'm
not letting this go.
It reminded me of that in Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Where when the guy says, you are Nosferatu, you are Dracula, you are the Prince of Darkness, and he just kind of stops and gives him this look like, you effed up. Just like, oh. But yeah, dude, that's a great moment. And then he has to sacrifice himself at the end by injecting himself with vampire blood to become a vampire, and then he gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah, then punches through a dude's face.
I liked how, because most movies, they would have had like a big epic ending, like he's got to stab him in the heart, which they didn't establish that, so we wouldn't even know if that would
blow heads off of it.
They can blow they literally shoots the guy's head off, and
he shoots that one person,
throws him into the meat grinder.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was awesome. And then when he loses his arm, one of the humans loses his arm, just the blood spray, like that's a great practical effect.
Yeah, and then he winds up cutting his head off, and that looks real. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, his head's moving with it, and it's not done in like a cheesy way.
There's no one hacks, like the sinews and nerves. You see the nerves in there getting hacked off.
It's great. And then, look, chuck them in the meat grinder.
This is not a 51%.
No, absolutely not. I'd say more of like low 70s.
Yeah.
Very low 70s.
Because it's mean, so I don't think all critics would like it. But it's really well shot.
It is, but it came out at the time with horror films, and people didn't know how to... Exactly. And they didn't know... It's kind of like how movies years later are going to be well received. Like, Club Dread maybe in 20 years will be well received, or...
It'll win that Oscar.
I mean, best reanimation. Or same thing with Reanimator. That movie was not very well liked at all when it came out. Or Silver Bullet, which was well received, but then got hated over the years. Which Roger Ebert thought that was purposely made to be cheesy, but they were just low budget.
Yeah,
but it was. I liked 30 Days a Night.
And it's aged well.
Yeah, it's still very, very nice.
Because it's practical effects. A lot of. I mean, there's CGI, but there's no like cell phone. Like it's universal because you would have no service. You can't escape. So this movie can't really age that badly.
Yeah, they don't really... There's not a good strong emphasis on the cell phones, except for, the towers are out.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not looking at... the computer has a very small role in it. And, the dialogue is very universal. There's no, like, catchphrases or anything. There's no, like, where's the beef? It's like...
like a Fright Night, you're so cool, Brewster.
Yeah.
I do love Fright Night. It's coming on a Blu-ray soon, the original, so I'm excited for that.
Oh, nice.
But no, man, I just don't. It's not that bad. No. So we're done with those. You got some recommendations for us?
These are some runner-ups. This is like before you had called me and said, hey, by the way, let's make sure we're clear on what we're going to do here, because I had written out about 10 different movies that I was going to talk about, and I interpreted more as movies that either had really bad titles but were really good movies. Or movies that you probably never heard of that we were going to talk about briefly. So I wrote out a bunch of different movies. The one that I said has a horrible title, but is actually a pretty good movie is Now You See Me. Probably the worst title I've ever heard of in my life, but that was a great movie.
The Magician one.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Me too.
It's really fun. That was a smash hit. Like that was a sleeper hit. Like it was one of those movies that made a lot of money didn't make a lot of money the opening weekend, but then only lost like 10%. Like not like a 50% drop the next weekend. It just kept holding for like 5 weeks, and it became a big hit. Like because people it's nice.
It's very enjoyable.
It's fun.
It's a very enjoyable movie.
You like the actors. There's good chemistry. Now You See Me.
That was great.
And it got good word of mouth, that movie.
And of course, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Who's Morgan Freeman? Was that my Morgan Freeman?
Was that like your Michael Caine?
Yeah. Michael Caine. Oi. Wait, that was Australian. All right, sorry.
Mark, you need to understand. There are times when you can make fun of my voice.
Wait, who is that? Wait, who is that?
That was supposed to be by Michael Caine.
Oh, that sounded like someone else.
Wow. Okay, well, then I'll say it. Whoever it was the other guy.
Yeah, whoever that was. So that's what that was.
Exactly. That's what I was going for.
You did a great impression of we'll add it in later.
I wanted to talk about this movie Exposure, which also one of the things I thought was I was going to bring in. I was going to talk about a bunch of indie films, but then you said, well, these had to be movies that had a wide release that everybody could have seen, which that eliminated every movie that was on my list.
Damn it, Mark!
Exposure, which it is very hated on the internet, critics as well. I haven't seen much above a 4-star out of 10-star rating for this movie. I saw it. It was on Showtime, I believe, and it wasn't a bad movie if you knew what the director was going for. He was going for if you ever seen the video Dead, if you ever seen oh gosh, okay, well there's a bunch of movies from
Kramer versus Kramer,
Kramer versus Kramer. But it was done in the same vein as a lot of these like 80s movies that was like really bad acting, choppy editing. You know, you can see, The Dead Next Door. You seen that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I saw the alive person in the condo next to me. That was a good one.
I saw the alive guy at Walmart.
That was good.
He was buying a sandwich.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I like it was like a very French New Wave movie with a lot of jump cuts.
He liked horseradish.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But it has a lot of shoddy acting, and it has a lot of it to do with the choppy editing, which is like you can actually see the actors starting up.
Oh
like,
no!
Yeah.
Oh
you
no!
Can, but that was what he was going for.
Oh, that's what he was going
these
for.
These 80s
okay.
movies that were like, you know, a lot of these 80s movies, people aren't going to watch. They don't care. They just want to see the naked girl, and they want to see blood everywhere. And that's kind of what he was going with Exposure. That was kind of that was the movie he was trying to make. But everybody who saw it that talks about it online didn't get that, and there was like, oh, and it's like one of the things I've read, because it's about like this alien entity. These two people are in the woods and they're trying to, you know, make their marriage work. They see this alien entity. They touch it. It looks kind of like, you know, male private parts. So I think that's kind of what I was going for as a joke. It just kind of looks like that sitting there. So they touch it and he's like, what's this? And then the guy becomes infected and he turns into this weird goopy looking alien. And it's like, it's extremely low budget. All of its practical effects. It's like, if you keep an open mind while watching it like that, this is not a movie that he made in order for people to like to really sit down and go, wow, what a great shot film. What great acting. What great special effects. That wasn't what he was going for. It was definitely going for like a great homage film of those cheesy horror films from the 80s.
Got it.
So I just wanted, you know, put that out there. That was one of the other ones. And just a quick like couple of movies to say like to check out. If you have Shudder, strongly recommend checking out Liquid Sky. Liquid Sky, have you seen that?
Uh-uh.
Liquid Sky was part of the art house horror films of the early 80s. It was done with an all Russian team. It was their first time ever shooting an American movie. They haven't really revisited America again, but they went back to Russia. It's about aliens that come to Earth to do heroin. It's kind of done like Brain Damage in a way.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very surreal, kind of like a Nicholas Ren movie. And there's a lot of really weird, haunting scenes. There's a great scene where the main character talks about like who she is as a woman. And it's very strange and haunting. And it's like her character's supposed to be doped up, but she's actually, you know, under the influence of this alien who really wants heroin.
Oh.
And invades the New York fashion scene. And it's just such a very, very weird movie. There's a scene where she goes off into outer space at the end of it. And she does this strange dance. And I watched it. And I'm sitting there watching this lady do this really, really weird dance on a rooftop. And like her friends are like coming out to come see her. And they're like, she's dancing around. And they're just like, oh, that's her. Ha, ha, ha. And then that's how the movie ends. But it's just a very weird, very haunting film. I loved it.
That reminds me of Chubby Rain from Bowfinger. Liquid Sky. It's not that bad.
And lastly, I just want to say, Fear of a Black Hat. I texted you about this movie. If you like, this is Spinal Tap. Rusty Cundiff, who did Tales from the Hood. He did a mockumentary like This is Spinal Tap, but it was about the rap culture and lifestyle called Fear of a Black Hat. And it is, I don't want to say too much because if you liked or got early 90s, late 80s, early 90s hip hop and rap, you will absolutely love this movie.
Nice.
I could not stop laughing.
Where'd you find that at?
That was on Amazon. That was on Amazon Prime.
Fear of a Black Hat.
That's on there, and I think I'm Gonna Get You Sucker is also on there. That's how I saw it, because I was watching I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and then it referenced that, and I was like, I'll watch this. It's by Rusty Cundive. So I was like, oh my God. I don't want to say too much about it, because it's one of the funniest things I've seen in a very long time.
Awesome. And I also saw that you have the Bye Bye Man on there, but I like the goodbye fella. The see you later, pal.
The pat you on the back, sister.
Yeah. Get out of here! Don't let the door hit your ass, guy. Person.
Oh yeah, I liked Bye Bye Man. That was another movie that had a horrible title. They should have changed it to something else. But I mean, yeah, Doug Jones playing the Bye Bye Man.
The Bye Bye Man.
That was good. He's just like, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it. That was kind of haunting. I liked how it started out with a bang. I mean, it was supposed to be 1960s, and the guy's mowing people down with a shotgun.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's how it starts out. And then you're like, oh my God, what am I going to see? And then smash cut to present day. We find out, it's just a high school thriller film, but it's not terrible, but
it's better than the see you later guy.
So waving from the boat, mother.
My jokes are so bad. Hey, peace out, person.
The peace out person.
I'll see you later, guy. See you later, pal. All right. Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for doing that. It's not that bad. But I think these movies weren't so bad, and I'm looking forward to watching Chubby Rain. Liquid Sky. I'm going to check that out. But appreciate you coming back. And when you come, what are we talking about next? We have a couple movies. We have Valley Girl.
Valley Girl. I love that movie.
And then The Frighteners.
The Frighteners.
So we have Valley Girl and The Frighteners coming up. So stay tuned for those. Stay tuned for those. I don't even know what that means.
You sound like the Alaskan sheriff.
Yeah, exactly. Let me have some ground beef. So for Mark Hoffmeyer and Chris Kelly, this is Movie Stones and Flakes. We'll see you next week. Bye.
All right, see you guys.